In today's video, we're going to do 3 asanas, but before that, let's do some neck stretching. Let's bring our right hand. The simple neck stretch is the most effective way. And you just turn the head down. To stretch a different part of the neck. Release the pose very, very, very gently, because you don't want to pull the muscle. Release there. And the other side, just to the side. And then slowly an angle. Very slowly, very, very slowly release that. Stretch. Inhale, exhaling to the left. Inhale, center. Exhaling right. Inhale, center. One more time to the left. Center and right. Back to the center, then up. Down. Up. And down. Coming to the center. We're going to lie down in Shavasana to do the asana on Bhastrikasana. Bhastrikasana is the bellows pose. It helps to pump a lot of gas from the body out, just like the name implies. I find it's also a nice stretch for the back. Now, as you exhale, bring the right knee to the chest. Very close to the body. Holding it, breathing out from the pelvic, from the belly. Up to 8 seconds. Inhaling, release. Exhaling the left leg now. It's just good to release tension on the neck, and if you really overwork, so much work, brain work, it gives a relief to it. Inhaling, release. Now bring both knees to the chest. It's good for those who always suffer from constipation or bad digestion. It helps promote, especially in the morning, for you to go to the toilet. And release. If you find it difficult to straighten the leg, bend the knees and bring the other leg up. Inhale, exhale both knees. Inhale, release. Again, you can keep the legs bent or straighten the legs, whichever you prefer. Exhaling, right knee starts always with the right. Inhale, release. Exhale, left. Inhale, release. Exhaling both knees. Inhaling, release. Exhaling, right. We're going to do up to 8 times. Inhale, release. Exhale, left. Inhale, release. Exhale both knees. Inhaling, release. You can do less than 8 rounds if you cannot manage 8, or it's not necessary to do. But of course, if you want to have the strong effect, you can still benefit from it, even if you do less than 8 rounds. Inhaling, release both legs. Inhaling, release. It really releases also a lot of toxin, headaches. Inhaling, release, exhaling. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling, release. It helps to release, lower your blood pressure in this pose. Some of us may find it difficult to lie down flat, so you may want to have some support on your upper back from the thoracic up to the head. Like a blanket or something. We'll do one last round, exhaling. inhaling, exhaling. And both. Stay for a while to simulate the movement. It's a useful pose for the Manipur chakra. Next, let's bring the knees, and then exhaling, drop the knees off to the right side. Just look beyond your fingertips. Inhaling back to the center. Exhaling, drop it off to the other side. To the center. Exhaling, release. Again, one more time. Exhale, knees together, inhaling, release. Still the twist. I'm going to invite you to come to your front. I'm going to do a pose lying on the front. It's quite a powerful pose. Now this is the pose that we're going to do is called Dhanurasana, the boat pose or the bow pose. So it really strengthens your back. But watch your knees, can be quite straining if you have tightness in your front of your thighs. So just be careful when you get into this pose. Now we want to prepare the body a little bit before you get into the pose. Just line Sphinx. Again, if you have dodgy knees, place something under the knees. Can be a nice pose to strengthen the back, but at the same time, let's do some stretching on the front of the body. Maybe bend the knees if you like to. Sometimes you may not be able to do the entire pose. You could just stay in this position with the knees bent, the upper body up, or even higher than that. Stay for a while. And slowly lower the body down. It's a repetitive movement. We'll do up to 8 rounds. You're holding up for 8 seconds or less. It's quite a powerful pose. It can be an essential pose for men. You're holding onto the ankles. And you're inhaling in a state of inhalation, and you're holding the breath for up to 8 seconds or less. So just watch. The knees can be together, but very often if you don't have the flexibility, the legs might open up, which is perfectly fine. So first, exhaling. Lift the front so that gives you space. It doesn't pull your attire in that position that you can stretch. Then get ready, holding the ankles. Inhale. The inhalation pushes the diaphragm down, pushes the body up, and coming to look in front of you, looking in front, not to the ceiling. Exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. You may want to do something less than 8 seconds initially and then gradually increase the duration. It's quite straining on the back, so you may want to watch your position of the condition of your back, if it's strong enough to hold this pose. First you exhale and then inhaling. Leaving the navel center on the floor, which is not that difficult. Again, it's repeated about 8 times. Or you can do less than 8 times. Inhaling. Exhaling. Exhaling. You'll find that you may have to take long pauses between the times, the rounds, which is perfectly fine. Okay, last one, inhaling. Exhaling. It's quite a powerful pose. It strengthens your arms, your legs, your limbs, and surely your back, and also your digestive and elimination system. Generally, your organs in the belly. So please take Shavasana after this pose. It's really quite a Now let's do the last pose. You want to roll up. I would like to roll up to the sitting instead of going to the side. Push yourself to the sitting. Just feel the difference. The pose that we're going to do is actually a lying down pose, but I'm going to sit up a little bit and just twist to one side. in a sitting position. Directing your eyes to the left as far as you can to stretch. Inhaling, releasing. Exhaling, inhaling and exhaling to the other side. Change your legs, the cross of the legs. And inhaling back to the center. Find that it's really releasing a lot of strain, tension in the body, the poses that we have done. You can do one more of that, or we could just lie on the back and do the next pose, which is called Utkata Paschimottasana. Now this is, you're inhaling to the sitting, and then exhaling, you're going forward bend. Really feet together, inhaling, arms directing up, coming to sitting, lengthening in the sitting position first, exhaling. Now you may bend the knees slightly if you need to, or just keep the legs straight if that's fine with you. The back will be straight or slightly hunched depending on what works well for you. Exhaling, engage your abs. You may hold to your big toes, but not necessarily to hold to the big toes, especially if you have very tight strain on the knees. Breathing out. Inhaling, lift the head up, using the breath, inhaling, arms up. Exhaling down. You're not doing any warm-ups into that. You can, if you want to stay in that position longer, but we're going to repeat this in how the asana is done. Repeating, holding for about up to 8 seconds into that forward bending pose of the body towards the knees, the legs. Breathing out, holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhaling. Again, this rhythmic inhalation and exhalation creates that conscious awareness, heightens your concentration, calmness of the mind. At the same time, it's squeezing the glands, balancing the secretion as needed. Here, the poses that we have done is very effective for the belly, the Manipur chakra. We're going to continue. Inhale, pushing yourself up, exhaling. Get your abs. Swinging the arms, the side also helps this rotation of the calf. This really helps to promote the inhalation and exhalation. Engage your abs. Continue 3 more times. In some cases, you may want to support a blanket or towel under your knees, or even 2 blocks under your heels. Under your heels. Watch your back. You don't want to, especially those who are flexible, you don't really want to exert the pressure to a protruding this. So engage abs and back so that you go into a safe distance of your flexors. Inhale, exhaling. Let's do the last round. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhale. Flex the toes forward or back. Exhale. Bring your arms aside. You may go into Shavasana before the next pose, or if you're finishing up, you may come to the sitting to do the massage and Shavasana after that. Just roll to one side or to the side where your breath is predominant, whether it's right side or left. Push yourself to the sitting. If that was the last asana, please do your massage and Shavasana. We did 3 asanas. First one was Bhastrikasana, bellows pose. Second was Dhanurasana, boat pose. And the last one was Utkata Paschimottasana, the head and knee pose. You can combine this to strengthen, to relax and strengthen your back. Dhanurasana is very strengthening. At the same time, it stretches the front of the body. The counter effect pose is Utkata Paschimottasana, which is stretching the back and can be very toning the front of the body. Bhastrikasana, where else is an overall very nice to release the tension, especially in regard to digestion or headaches and all that. So the poses are two of the poses are actually useful for it's two of the basics for men to do. But of course, everyone can do the pose. These poses really helps. If you can see, it really corrects the malfunctioning of your Manipura chakra. You find that you can easily improve your condition of the Manipura chakra with regular practice of these two poses, three poses actually.